All right, hey there, viewers. So I got myself a set of brake shoes. They're not OEM because I went to the dealership and they said the brake shoes are back ordered till don't know when because there was no ETA. I think it's kind of like the same for other dealerships because my friend at Honda, he also said they're having trouble getting brake parts at Honda too, so they're also back ordered. But yeah, so anytime you take the rear shoes out, you make sure you inspect the wheel cylinders for leaks. But usually the Hondas and the Toyotas, I hardly find them to, be leaking. So I don't know, they're pretty good. So when I was back in the day when I was an apprentice, doing rear brakes, rear brake or drum brakes are pretty intimidating because they're different from disc brakes because disc brakes are so much easier. But if you do it often enough, they actually become pretty easy. But all you have to do is all you have to remember is. These shoes are held in by springs. So you got springs that hold it against the backing plates. And then there are springs that hold them from, going this way, right? There's one on the bottom here and there's also one on top. So to take it out, I always back off the star wheel. So that just takes tension off these springs as well. It just makes it easier to get the springs off. And the tools that I use are these. My choice of tools are these guys. You don't have to get anything too fancy to do rear brake shoes. I find these work best for me. I've never actually had to buy any special tools to do, drum brakes on Hondas or Toyotas. But yeah, I guess whatever works for you, this is what I find works best for me. Because all you need to do is just to get these little springs that hold against the backing plate, you just hold them on the side and push down and rotate it to get it off the pin there. Then you can just use the side cutters to get the bottom springs out, right? And then yeah, what I do is I use the screwdriver to back off the star wheel because it just makes it easier to get the springs off, so there's not as much tension on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So I backed off the star wheel all the way. This just makes this spring a lot, I guess looser, not as much tension, and it just makes this thing, makes the spring easy to come off. So it's like you can just pull them out, right? You can also take the bottom one off. I'm gonna need two hands, so you can do it with just one hand. Yeah, so I can do it with just one hand. So that spring comes off, right? Easy to come off, but yeah, definitely. Backing that star wheel off all the way makes it a lot easier to get these springs off. That just takes tension off of them. So let's see if I can do it with one hand on this side. Oh, nope. Yeah, I'm gonna use both hands to take that spring off. All right, now that I got the spring off of it, it just hooks into this thing right here. Yeah, it just comes off really easily. There's one more spring back there, but I'm going to leave that in there for now. What I'm going to do is take off these springs that hold the shoes to the backing plate. You might notice that the back shoes are still plenty because these are only leading and trailing type drum brakes. Unless they're dual servo where there's no anchor at the bottom, the back one will usually wear out more because as this thing pushes out, it kind of wedges this back shoe in the back to apply more force, I guess you can say. That is dual servo. These are just leading and trailing type shoes. So if you actually have a Honda, Honda actually will sell you individual. Well, they're the same front and rear shoes, so they only sell you in singles. So if you were me and you want to save some money, I just rotate my Honda shoes from the back to the front. that's just me. But if you are replacing your rear shoes, you can just replace the front because the rear never wears out. So yeah, it's just a cheaper option, I guess. Oh, anyways, too much talking, I guess. So what I'm going to do next is take these springs off that holds it against the backing plate. So what I do is I get the pair of pliers, right? I push down and rotate while I have my other hand on the back that holds the pins. Well, I don't know if you can see that. There's a pin back here. Yeah, there's that pin. Right? I just put pressure with one hand on that thing and then the other hand with the pair of pliers and push down on this spring and then just rotate. and it should get off the little, into those grooves there. So yeah, once you spread those shoes open and this thing just comes right out. Yeah, next you got to take this e-brake cable off. I'll show you how to do that. Just because you need to transfer this lever over. And the hardest part about this job is getting this damn clip off. It's probably the hardest part. I still have trouble getting this thing off. But you just got to squeeze them to pull this thing out. And they don't give you a new one. So this is going to be the hardest part of this job, is trying to get this clip off right here. So what I do is I get a pair of pliers, and one side that's going to be on the pin, and one side's going to be trying to spread open those little legs off. So what I do is, that's all I do. That's the hardest part of this job. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to need a flathead screwdriver to get the rest of the way. There should be a little washer behind it, so make sure you don't lose that. Oh, maybe a smaller screwdriver. So just to get the rest of the way, just get yourself a screwdriver and pull it off. Yeah. Like I said, this is the hardest part of the job, trying to get this clip off. There you go. Then I think there's a... Nope, there is no washer. All right. Should be okay. So just put the lever back, right? And get this clip on. And to put the clip back on, I just use the pliers to squeeze it in there. Right? And yeah, pinch these together so they don't come out. And there you go, you just installed it. Oh, I installed it back to the old one. Damn it. Duh. And you hear my girlfriend laughing at me. Oh my god. I should put this as a blooper. You're still recording this?
Take it out.
I'm taking it back out then. All right, putting it on the actual new shoes this time. There you go. Now install the e-brake lever this time on the correct shoes. Yeah, and that's it. Make sure you clean up the star wheel. Put a little bit of grease in there. That way they don't seize. Also on the threads in here too, because they get pretty dirty when they start. When you adjust it, they come out and all that brake dust and stuff gets on there. So I just put a little grease on both sides. Okay, so one thing I didn't fail to do to show you on the other side is how to take this e-brake cable off. You don't have to take this e-brake cable off. You can just take the clip off and just leave the lever on and put it onto the new shoe. But just to show you how to get this off, it's pretty easy. I use my pair of side cutters, and all I do is I get it in between the spring, like so. All right, make sure you don't cut the cable itself, and just pry outwards on it. And yeah, that's it. And to what you want to do to get the spring back up again, I get 2 pliers, this one and a pair of side cutters. I just grab the end, right, and then I get underneath that spring, and then I just push it just to get that cable off, and then just put this back in. And that's it. All right, so I thought I'd do a better job of recording and how to put it back together. So what I want to do is grab this. That will go into that hole, right? Just hold it there, And since this shoe's already here, what I want to do is I hook it into here. Right, I hook it into the other one. Right, and then the spring isn't that strong, so you can just once you have it on there, pull it over the wheel cylinder, like so. And that way, on the bottom here, you can actually put the shoes back into the anchor at the bottom. Turn on the light so you can see. How's that? So yeah, it just goes back in there. So, you know, pretty much it's already done. What you want to do is put the star wheel back in there, right? And how I do that is I just stick it in through this side, right? And to get it onto the other side, I lift up on the other shoe, and it'll just go right in. Hold on. It's falling apart on me here. Let's do that again. There we go. Now it's in. Yep, and that's pretty much it. All right, so what you want to do next is the springs that hold the shoes against the backing plate, you want to put those in next. So you just grab your pins, hook them through to the hole here, right? If you're strong enough, you can do it with your fingers, and don't need the pair of pliers, and give them a push and a twist. Oh, I'm so close. Which I'm not, so I'm going to use a pair of pliers now. Yeah, my girlfriend's laughing at me now. Give it a turn. That way it's in now. Yeah, it's in. Same thing on the other side. Get the pin through. That's not me farting, I'm just sitting on the tire here and moving my butt around it. So I just find a groove for the pin, right? Nope, not strong enough to push it through. Okay, use the pair of pliers. And that's in. And then we're going to put the bottom spring in. Yeah, hook it up here. I just use my hand, and I use my thumb to help pull it and get the spring into the hole. And that's in. And what I want to do is put this in. That's just for the star wheel. It's supposed to help ratchet that star wheel to adjust your e-brake, but I find it never really works. So you just got to manually adjust it yourself. So that just goes into there. And then the spring goes into the same hole as the the spring behind it. Just grab yourself a pair of pliers. Same thing. Use your other hand to help move the spring into there, and that's it. I'm reusing the old drums. As you can see, the surface looks pretty good. And yeah, that's how easy putting these rear shoes back together. The next thing is, put the drums on. Pull the e-brake a couple of times, make sure the shoes are centered, and that should be it. And then adjust the e-brake as necessary until your e-brake isn't so high. So anyways, if you liked the video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe.